Your mind is the control center of your entire life. Everything you do, every action you take, every decision you make, it all starts with a thought. But here's the problem. Most people don't even realize that their thoughts are running on autopilot. They're operating based on old patterns, outdated beliefs, and limitations that have been ingrained in them for years. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why nothing ever seems to change. The truth is, if you don't take control of your mind, the world will do it for you. And I can promise you this, the world isn't programmed for your success. It's programmed for survival, for fear, for mediocrity. If you want a better life, you have to reprogram your mind. You have to consciously decide what you believe, what you focus on, and how you interpret the world around you. Your thoughts are like the code in a software program. If the code is outdated, the program won't function properly. It will keep crashing. It will keep producing the same errors. But when you rewrite the code, when you upgrade the software, everything changes. Your mind is no different. Now, here's the key. Your mind is constantly being shaped by what you expose it to. The conversations you have, the content you consume, the people you surround yourself with, all of it is influencing your thoughts whether you realize it or not. If you're constantly around negativity, guess what? Your mind absorbs it. If you're feeding yourself doubt and fear, that's what will manifest in your actions. But if you start filling your mind with empowering beliefs, with knowledge, with possibility, suddenly your world expands. Reprogramming your mind isn't about wishful thinking. It's not about standing in front of a mirror and saying, I'm successful while your life falls apart. No, it's about conditioning. It's about repetition. It's about feeding your mind the right inputs every single day until it becomes automatic. Just like going to the gym, one workout won't transform your body, but consistent training will. The same is true for your mind. You have to train it to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You have to train it to push through fear instead of surrendering to it. You have to train it to focus on solutions instead of problems. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by changing your language. The words you use create your reality. If you tell yourself, I can't do this, you're right. If you say, this is impossible, your brain will find every reason to confirm that belief. But when you shift your language, you shift your perspective. Instead of saying, I can't, say, how can I? Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, I will figure this out. That one shift alone can change everything because your brain will start searching for answers instead of excuses. At the end of the day, your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. And the difference is entirely up to you. Are you going to let fear, doubt, and limitations run the show? Or are you going to take control and rewrite the script? The choice is yours. But remember this. If you don't master your mind, you will always be a slave to your circumstances. The moment you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your life. And when that happens, nothing can stop you. Everything you experience in life is filtered through one thing, your perspective. Your perspective shapes your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your actions. And yet, most people never stop to question whether the way they see the world is actually serving them. They assume their perspective is the truth, when in reality, it's just a reflection of their conditioning, their past experiences, and the meaning they've assigned to them. If you want to change your life, you have to learn to master your perspective. Because the truth is, two people can go through the exact same situation and come out with completely different outcomes. One sees failure, the other sees a lesson. One sees rejection, the other sees redirection. One sees obstacles, the other sees opportunities. It's not the situation that determines their success or failure, it's their perspective. Think about it. How many times have you looked back on something you thought was a disaster in the moment, only to realize later that it was actually a blessing in disguise? Maybe you lost a job, only to find something better. Maybe you went through a painful breakup only to meet the person you were really meant to be with. The problem is, most people don't have that clarity in the moment. They get stuck in their emotions. They react instead of responding. They see things only through the lens of their immediate discomfort, rather than stepping back and asking, what else could this mean? That question alone has the power to change your life. What else could this mean? Instead of assuming the worst, train yourself to see possibilities. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on what you can learn. Because life will test you. You will face setbacks. You will have moments where you feel like nothing is working. But if you allow those moments to define you, you give away your power. If instead you use them to refine you, to sharpen you, to strengthen you, then suddenly nothing can break you. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never experience failure. They're the ones who refuse to be defeated by it. They've trained themselves to see challenges as opportunities. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, how can this serve me? That shift in perspective makes all the difference. Because when you stop seeing life as something is happening to you and start seeing it as something is happening for you, you take back control. Now, this isn't about ignoring reality. It's not about pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about choosing to focus on the meaning that empowers you rather than the one that holds you back. It's about making the conscious decision that no matter what happens, you will find a way to grow from it. At the end of the day, your perspective is your reality. And the good news, you get to choose it. You can let your past, your fears, and your doubts define the way you see the world, or you can take control and decide to see life through a lens of strength, resilience, and possibility. Because when you shift your perspective, you don't just change the way you see the world. You change what's possible for you within it. And that's where transformation begins. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, but for most people, it's running on autopilot. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every habit you repeat, it's all a program that's been conditioned into you over time. The question is, who wrote that program? Was it you, or was it shaped by your past experiences, your environment, the people around you? And the truth is, most people are living according to a script they never consciously chose. They're carrying around beliefs that limit them, patterns that keep them stuck, and fears that stop them from ever stepping into their true potential. But here's the good news. Just like a computer program, your mind can be rewritten. You can upgrade your operating system. You can install new beliefs, new habits, new ways of thinking that actually empower you instead of holding you back. It starts with awareness. You can't change something if you don't even realize it's running in the background. So the first step is to start paying attention. Listen to the thoughts that come up throughout your day. Notice the patterns. When you're faced with a challenge, do you immediately think, I can't do this? Or do you ask yourself, how can I figure this out? When you set a goal, do you tell yourself, that's not possible for me? Or do you say, I will find a way? Those little moments matter because your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough, guess what? Your brain will go to work proving you right. It will filter out any evidence to the contrary and reinforce that belief. But if you start training your mind to look for solutions instead of problems, to see opportunities instead of obstacles, everything changes. Now, I'm not talking about just thinking positively and hoping for the best. That's not how transformation works. I'm talking about deliberately reprogramming your mind through consistent action. You have to challenge the thoughts that don't serve you. You have to replace them with empowering beliefs. And then you have to back those beliefs up with action, because nothing rewires your mind faster than proof. Let's say you've always believed you're not good at speaking in front of people. That belief has probably shaped your behavior. You avoid public speaking, you feel nervous when you have to present, and every time you do speak, you focus on everything that went wrong. But what if you decided to challenge that belief? What if you started practicing taking small steps, putting yourself in situations that forced you to grow? Every time you did, you'd be collecting new evidence, proof that maybe, just maybe, that old belief wasn't true after all. The more you do this, the more momentum you build. And before you know it, you're not just thinking differently, you're living differently. That's the power of reprogramming your mind. It's not about making it a one-time decision. It's about consistently choosing a new path until that path becomes your new normal. So ask yourself, what's the belief that's been holding you back? What's the story you've been telling yourself that's keeping you small? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? Because your future is being shaped by the thoughts you think today. Rewrite them wisely. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in life is because they don't take full ownership of their reality. They blame circumstances, other people, the economy, their upbringing, anything but themselves. And listen, I get it. Life isn't always fair. Some people start with more advantages than others. Some people face real challenges that make the road tougher. But here's the truth. As long as you see yourself as the victim of your circumstances, you will never have the power to change them. If you want to transform your life, you have to take radical responsibility. You have to decide right now that no matter what happens, you own your response. You own your attitude. You own your actions. That doesn't mean bad things won't happen. That doesn't mean you won't face setbacks. It means that no matter what happens, you refuse to let external forces dictate your future. Think about this. Two people can go through the exact same hardship, yet come out with completely different results. One person lets it break them. They let it become their excuse. I can't do this because of what happened to me. The other person takes that same pain and turns it into fuel. They say, because of what happened to me, I will rise. The difference? Mindset. When you take full ownership of your life, you take back control. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you. You stop hoping that the world will change for you. You realize that you have the ability to shift your own trajectory starting now. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're struggling financially. You can spend all your energy complaining about the economy, about your boss, about how unfair the system is, or you can take ownership. You can ask, what can I do to change this? Maybe you develop a new skill, maybe you start a side business, maybe you change the way you manage your money. The point is, when you stop focusing on what's out of your control and start focusing on what you can do, everything changes. This applies to every area of your life. Your health, it's your responsibility. Your relationships, your responsibility. Your success, your responsibility. It doesn't matter what's happened to you. What matters is what you do next. And here's the best part. When you start taking ownership, you start seeing results. You start realizing that you are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are capable of more than you've ever imagined. But that power only comes when you stop making excuses and start making changes. So I want you to ask yourself right now, where in your life have you been giving away your power? Where have you been waiting for things to change instead of stepping up and making the change? Because the moment you decide to take responsibility, that's the moment your life starts to shift. Not someday, not when circumstances are perfect, right now. No one is coming to save you, but the good news, you don't need them to, because you have everything within you to create the life you want. It starts with a decision. Make that decision today. If you want to build a better life, you have to commit to constant growth. You cannot afford to stay the same. Life is always moving, always evolving, and if you're not growing, you're falling behind. The moment you stop learning, the moment you stop pushing yourself, you start decaying. And that's what happens to most people. They get comfortable, they settle, they stop stretching themselves, and then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they feel uninspired, why their lives feel like they're on repeat. The truth is, progress equals happiness. When you're growing, when you're evolving into a stronger, wiser, more capable version of yourself, you feel alive. You wake up with energy, with purpose, because you know you're moving forward. That's what life is about, momentum. The only way to maintain that momentum is to be obsessed with improving yourself every single day. Now, I'm not talking about occasional growth. I'm not talking about reading a book once a year or going to a seminar and feeling inspired for a weekend. I'm talking about making growth a way of life. It has to become who you are. You have to wake up every morning and ask yourself, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? And that's in every area, your mindset, your body, your relationships, your finances, your skill set. Because every time you level up one part of your life, it elevates everything else. Think about it. When you strengthen your mind, you start making better decisions. When you improve your health, you have more energy to take on challenges. When you work on your emotional intelligence, your relationships improve. It's all connected. Growth is the foundation of everything you want in life. But here's the thing. Growth is uncomfortable. It forces you to face your weaknesses. It forces you to admit that you don't have it all figured out. And that's why most people avoid it. They'd rather stay in their comfort zone, even if that comfort zone is keeping them miserable. But let me tell you something. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. If you want more, if you want to live an extraordinary life, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to put yourself in situations that stretch you, that challenge you, that force you to level up. So what does that look like? It means seeking out challenges instead of avoiding them. It means putting yourself in rooms where you're the least experienced person so you can learn from those who are ahead of you. It means investing in yourself, reading, studying, practicing, refining your skills. It means surrounding yourself with people who push you, who inspire you, who won't let you settle for less than you're capable of. Because at the end of the day, the quality of your life is determined by your commitment to growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. It's that simple. So ask yourself, are you evolving? Are you pushing yourself? Or have you been coasting, waiting for life to magically get better? Because it won't. Nothing changes unless you change. Decide right now that you will never settle, that you will never stop growing, that you will never accept mediocrity from yourself. Because the only limit to what you can achieve is the limit you place on your own growth. So push yourself, challenge yourself, and watch how your life transforms.